Spain, a country of nearly 50 million people, is going through a transformation that is coming full circle since the Jews were expelled 500 years ago.
Christianity is easier, so it's a religion that could expand. The important thing is that the values, the Christian values, which are Judeo-Christian values, could expand to other continents. Judaism couldn't have done that. So our whole logic also here is the world today is different. Instead of seeing Christian and Jews as enemies or opposites, on the contrary, we're all waiting for the Messiah to come.
Madrid community leader David Hatchwell is spearheading the Hispano-Jewish Museum and is the president of the foundation. And the museum is underway in a neighborhood that didn't used to be so friendly to Jews.
Time is like a wave, you know, and it goes. Now the wave goes today on the reverse. And today, everyone wants to go back to their origin, and it's very interesting. And our whole concept is to say, listen, it's beautiful that you know that we have a country that has a lot of Christianity as a base, and let's seek together what we have in common
to repair what's divided. But how did the church respond in the beginning? Were they open?
The church is very open to having Judaism come back in strength in this country from the perspective that, first of all, after Vatican II, this was very important as a game changer in terms of the mentality of the church towards the Jewish people.
Scholars say the Jewish people have been in the Iberian Peninsula since the time of the Second Temple, while others believe it dates back to the time of King Solomon.
So in cities like Toledo, it could be around 20-25% of the population being Jewish. In cities like Girona in Catalonia, same thing. The overall size of the Jewish population of Spain in 1492 is estimated at 8% of the overall population. Those are huge numbers.
Jews experienced a golden age for centuries, leading the way in finance, exploration, medicine, science, academia, and philosophy. Yet still, Jews were marginalized.
The smarter rulers would understand that their communities, their Jewish communities that technically belonged to them, had to prosper so that they could tax them in an intelligent way so that they could continue prospering and the monarchs would do well. And they eventually would become poor, the Jewish communities, and they were marked as Jews and living in ghettos also in Christian times. So let's not think for any second that life was better than today.
The Golden Age of Spain came to an abrupt halt for the Jewish people. And as you can see here in Plaza Mayor, it's now a place for tourists, for sports enthusiasts, and locals alike. But if you turn the clocks back to 500 years ago, this was ground zero for the tribunal and the expulsion of the Jewish people from this land.
It is estimated that half converted and stayed, and the other half was forced to leave. This is the origin of the Sfaradim that have gone throughout the world.
Jews fled throughout the Ottoman Empire, North Africa, and to the New World. Plus, there's evidence that Columbus not only rescued secret Jews to the Caribbean, but that he himself was also a secret Jew.
The ones who sponsored Columbus were the Jews, indeed, but that was part of the problem. The question is, who provides the money and how is it provided? The Jews were lending money to the monarchs, and at a certain moment you have to return the money. The mother of King Ferdinand, the husband of Queen Isabella, was Jewish, and she was called Paloma.
In the New World, Converso Jews continued in secret, passing down Jewish rituals, cuisine, etc., from generation to generation.
What percentage, you think, are descendants of Jews?
Well, you know, it's pure math. If you take 4% of the population and you do an experiment over 25 iterations, and that 4% marries with others, by the end of the 16th generation, 16th iteration, everyone has Jewish DNA. And the anti-Semites who wanted to get rid of the Jews, in reality became Jewish, because the whole society over 500 years became genetically Jewish. I have a lot of friends today that claim, and rightly so, that their families converted. And there's a revival today of trying to connect to that.
And these days, thanks to genetic testing and a spiritual longing, scores of people throughout the Spanish-speaking world of 600 million are discovering the truth. A truth that many believe is fulfilling prophecies about the ingathering of the exiles during these times. Something predicted by Moses, the prophet Isaiah, the prophet Obadiah, and one of the most revered Jewish thinkers, the 12th century's Maimonides of Cordoba.
Today we have a community which is around in Spain, around 20,000 Jews.
In all of Spain?
In all of Spain.
Wow.
Now the beauty is that we have more Jews or more people that originate from Jewish culture and religion because of this law that was passed in 2015. And there's been 100,000 applicants and already 80,000 of them got their Spanish passport. I think it's beautiful that people are looking for their Jewish past in order to connect to Spain, because once you realize that you have Jewish origin, then something changes within you. You don't see the Jewish people necessarily as something foreign. We're not about proselytizing,
of course,
but it's an interesting phenomenon.